back to Flemington. Everybody's here again, and we're just about ready to get into the racing action. The first is the Network 10 Hurdle race over 3,200 metres. But Peter Donaghy, as I throw down to you, how much money do you think Graham would take for Sub-Zero? I'm in love.
He is a magnificent horse, isn't he?
Oh, mate.
You can hardly believe he was a racehorse, Tim, can you?
He's beautiful. He's beautiful.
He's a great attraction too, Jen, at the races. People just love coming up and patting him to say that they've patted a Melbourne Cup winner. There he is on the right there.
Well, Graham Salisbury's done such a fantastic job with him to train him down to do all these sorts of tricks, and he's got a few more up his sleeve as well.
All right, well, these runners in the mounting yard for the first, the Network 10 Hurdle race, and the starting time is 12:15. Scratchings 5 Big Baron, 8 Phocion and 12 Picasso. And we've got a field of 10 left to start here, Jen. And Gegabar, well, he was the one that they wanted on Tuesday, but didn't even get to go around.
No, he didn't. He hurt himself in the barriers, and not drastically, of course, just his nose. He's okay. I think he gets in very well here, Pete, with the weight that he has to carry, 65.5. He's a horse that can be a little bit risky over the jumps, but he's by far and away the best horse on the flat, and if he doesn't make too many mistakes, he's going to be very, very hard to beat here.
Number 2 is Inchgour, and the rider is Craig Heddich, and of course he won the Cup Day Hurdle.
Yes, it was a dashing display on Cup Day. He led all the way there, and I think he's probably going to find it a little bit harder here at the weights. He's got 65.5. The other day he carried 63.5, but he's going to give a big sight anyway.
Incidentally, that was Sub-Zero on the left. I don't know why I said on the right. I'm just looking over there at Graham. I think he's shaking his finger at me. Number 3 is Impulsive Risk, and the rider Brian Constable. And if you go back 3 runs ago, he was successful in a hurdle race at Morfordville in South Australia.
Well, his run 2 starts ago wasn't too bad. He covered a fair bit of ground on that occasion at Cheltenham, and he meets Belcapine, the next horse, 6.5 kilos better for that run. So he's had a run on the flat since that performance. I think he's nicely weighted here, and I think he's got a place chance in the race.
Speaking of Belcapine, number 4, he's to be ridden by Jamie Evans. Alan Williams is the trainer. Finished second in the hurdle race at Werribee on Cup Day there after winning at Cheltenham.
Well, he's a horse that likes to be up on the pace, and he'll probably do that again here today. He's been very, very consistent over the hurdles. You just have to look at his record there. I think you've got to consider him a place chance in the race.
Consistency is certainly something you could apply to number 7, Foreign Flight, Jen, a winner of his last 2 in line for the hat-trick over the hurdles today.
Yes, well, he was just too strong at Werribee last start, and he's a horse that does keep on improving. I don't think he'll disgrace himself at all, Pete. I've given him a place chance.
Also a last start winner over hurdles, number 11, Leading Bounty, and the rider is Andrew Moore.
Well, he put in a terrific performance at Moe. It was a very easy win there. A little bit harder here, but I don't think he's the worst, especially with 61 kilos.
What did you make of the first, Jen, on the final day of the carnival?
Well, I don't normally like to tip horses at these odds, especially in hurdle races and ones that are a little bit risky over the hurdles, but I do think he's the best horse in the race, number 1, Gegabar. For second, I've put in Impulsive Risk, another good hurdler. He's fairly consistent over the hurdles. And number 11, just for some value here, Leading Bounty. I liked his win at Moe. I thought he could probably run a place.
Yeah, Gegabar for me too. Maybe a little bit risky over the jumps, but I think he'll have too much ability for them. Well, let's see what the tote punters have made of the opening race as we go up again and say good afternoon to Dan Malicki.
Thank you, Pete. Good afternoon to you. Gegabar, $2 and $1.20 is firmly the favourite for this event. He is unbeaten over the sticks. Inchgour, $4.90. The Tasmanian that won the Cup Hurdle. Impulsive Risk at $8.90. Belcapine, $10.30. Carindale, $20.70. Foreign Flight, $11.50. 9 is Rare Vintage at $21.30. Cut Diamond, $64. Leading Bounty at $14.30 represents a bit of each way value at that sort of price. And Trojan Gift is the rank outsider of the field at $135. So Gegabar is a clear-cut favourite from Inchgour, who's got plenty of supporters after that win on Tuesday.
Well, Terry Kennedy has been in the betting ring for the first 3 days of the carnival. So Terry is watching us today and doing the job, I'm happy to say, is my colleague from Network 10 in Melbourne, Tim Gossage. Good afternoon to you, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, Peter. Yes, well, punters so far have taken it very easy on this first race, the 10 Hurdle. And in fact, Gegabar, as you see, it's even money on the tote at $2. You can get much better down here in the ring. There was a bit of money for it, but I can assure you it's much better in the bookmaker's ring. Inchgour, who won the Cup Hurdle, it also is about the same as what it is on the tote. It's $4.90 on the tote, very similar down here in the ring. The one they have come for is a horse by the name of Foreign Flight, number 7. It is paying $11 on the tote, much shorter here in the ring. And another one down the bottom is Leading Bounty, about $14 on the tote, half that down in the ring. Leading Bounty for me, Peter. And number 10 in the 10 Hurdle, big odds, write your own.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Tim Gossage, who'll be with us right throughout the day from the betting ring. The map of the first race, as we took a look at Carindale the Grey there, they'll start at the Melbourne Cup start, the 3,200 metres, which is the 900 metre mark in this famous Flemington Straight. And they will come down to the judges' box and complete one circuit of the track, around about 2,300 metres in circumference, the track here at Flemington. And a consensus, which is something that won't happen a lot today because we've got open races, but today in the first event we all think that Gegabar can take out the money in the Network 10 Hurdle race. As we said, it's over 3,200 metres and it's time to commence at 12:15, and these candidates down, as they always do in the hurdle, having a look at the first. And the people arriving, we need something like 21,000 to break the record, which is in the TAB era from 1960 onwards for the carnival. This Peter Hudson, a famous AFL footballer, one of the greatest goal kickers, equal record holder with Bob Pratt, 150 goals in a season. And now he is the chief executive of the Hawthorn Football Club, and many of the footballers and the football administrators love to get out here and enjoy the racing carnival after they get their big part of the year over and done with. And quite a few of the boys are keen punters. They come around to Flemington and to Caulfield and to Moonee Valley at this time of the year and always part with their hard-earned. It's a good time for them. Well, there's Carindale out behind the gates for this, the first event. Overcast, a little bit of wind about, but the track, as you heard Dan and Gary say earlier, is on the better side of dead. It's officially dead. Incidentally, in race 2 this afternoon, you probably have Danny Nikolic down for 2 horses in the second, numbers 4 and 5. Paddy Payne will ride number 5, Placido. So P. Payne aboard number 5, Placido, in race number 2 on the card. Michael Clark will ride number 14, Monica, in race 4. Race 4, number 14, Michael Clark. In race 5, number 1, State Taj, is Danny Nikolic. Race 5, number 1, D. Nikolic. And a couple of changes in the last. Just before that, number 2, Grand Bay in race 7 is S. Scriven. S. Scriven on 2 in race 7. And in the last, number 4, Coal Tar, the rider is S. Baster. And number 7, Pride of Kazoo, which Damien Oliver probably would have ridden, is to be ridden by his brother Jason. So Jay Oliver aboard number 7, Pride of Kazoo, in the final event on the card.
Peter, it's interesting to note that the favourite in this race, Gegabar, is owned by Jeff Lane, who was, of course, the golden boy many, many years ago here in Melbourne.
And I see Lisa Simpson there in a nice outfit, something similar to what you were wearing the other day, I think, Jet.
Thank you very much. That's my hairstyle.
There goes Homer. Actually, it does look a bit similar. Well, family day today, and lots of the families are here. It's quite a good crowd, but it will build up throughout the day. And if you can't get to Flemington, if you are in Melbourne, then hope you can stay with us right throughout the day, and wherever you may be watching around Australia, let's hope that you can be with us for our final day of telecast. With us again, Johnny Letts down there with Banjo at the start. Let's see.
Yeah, fellas, Gegabar, the top weight, looks very, very well. He's looks like that incident the other day at the barrier hasn't done anything to harm him, and, well, we don't know. It's just a little bit of a knock on the head in the gate, so, you know, hopefully he's very short price favourite in this, but he'll be hard to beat. Of the others, I thought number 9 looked very well, Rare Vintage. His form's not real bad in jumping races. And Inchgoer, well, he was a horse that won well here on Saturday, and if they leave him alone in front again today, he's going to be a chance. But they're the 3 from down here in the down here at the barrier.
Let's see, I see you've got one of the boys, the clerk of the course, holding you there. Is that because you fell off the other day?
I'm having a bit of trouble staying on, Pete. It's very windy out here. I don't think I'll ever live that down, will I?
A bit of the old super glue on the saddle normally helps.
I've got it. Well, it looks like super glue.
Yes, all right. Johnny Letts down there at the starting point here for the Network 10 Hurdle race, and I think we'll leave him right there as they get set. There's Gegabar, about to be led forward with the clerk of the course. If you weren't with us on Cup Day, he dived forward, actually hit his head on the gates, and they had to take him out. Afternoon, Homer. And he was examined by the vet and declared not fit to run. So the connections, especially trainer John Marr, who was very disappointed with that, they'd set him for the Cup Hurdle, and hopefully he'll be able to make amends here for those of you who have supported him in the first event. All right, before they move in, let's go up to the commentary box and Dan and Gary.
Thank you, Pete. About to move in for this first event. Still about 60 seconds of betting time remaining. They'll move up pretty swiftly. 3 sets of stablemates in the race. And quite a few greys engaged in this event, Gary Willett.
Yes, definitely. It's always a good sight, this one, Dan. They got those 5 hurdles in the straight the first time up here, and it's always a good sight to see them come flying up here. It's quite a good crowd building up. We've got a few horses here that Johnny Letts could get on down here by the winning post. A couple of 3 ponies. He'd be able to keep his legs either side of those.
Yes, there is too. All right, they move up well. Jegabar's the favourite. He's unbeaten in 3 runs, Gary.
Yes, and you know, been very impressive. I remember one day he was leading and he made a real mess of the second last fence and went down on his nose. He was still good enough to get up and win, but he wouldn't want to do anything wrong in this race. There's horse there, Foreign Flight. He's won his last 3 and he's been going along all right, but Gegabar does look too bad.
He's a very good hurdler. I've had the privilege, I suppose, of calling at each of his wins, and he's just much better than these one-on-one. The only problem is he relaxes so much, he just about goes to sleep. Now, if you close your eyes, you're going to trip over a hurdle, and that's what's happened to him a couple of times. He's been lucky to stay on his feet. $2 even, and $1.20 for number 1, Jegabar. It'll run the favourite quite clearly from Inchgower.
Yeah,
and Impulsive Risk.
And number 4, Belcapine, Jamie Evans. Jamie's got a contract to ride in England, which he's delighted about. And the chap's got 150 horses. So it'll be great for Jamie.
And they're all set to go. Trojan Gift joins the line. Light on, racing now. And Carindale was perhaps the best out, with leading Bounty down towards the inside. Inchgower just behind them as they draw up to the first obstacle. Then Foreign Flight. Dropping in behind them was Cut Diamond. Further out to Belcapine, Rare Vintage, and also Impulsive Risk. And Jegabar's last and very wide out on the track as they run down the straight the first time. Now Inchgower, the Tasmanian, who won the Cup Hurdle on Tuesday, is about to take over the role of leading this field down to the 3rd fence. It's Inchgower in front of Carindale and leading Bounty, and Belcapine going up 4th, and then Foreign Flight, followed by Rare Vintage. Trojan Gift next, and then came Cut Diamond. Or Foreign Flight all but sold out there. Lockyer, the jockey, lost the reins for a stride or 2, and the horse lost probably 4 lengths, but he is on his feet. Inchgower gets over the next one, jumped that well by 2 lengths to Belcapine on the outside of leading Bounty. 4th on the inside, Rare Vintage, and Jegabar still out 4 wide, keeping out of trouble. Immediately inside him was Impulsive Risk, and then came Carindale on the inside of Trojan Gift. About 5 to Cut Diamond, and 3 lengths away Foreign Flight after nearly falling up the 3rd obstacle. Going out of the straight, they have about 2,100 metres to travel, and Inchgower has settled very well for Craig Headage, and it leads by 2 lengths. Belcapine second, a half a length to leading Bounty, 1.5 to Rare Vintage, and then Carindale on the inside. 3 deep Jegabar, a length and a half away then to Trojan Gift. Then came Impulsive Risk, and 2 lengths to Cut Diamond, 2 lengths away Foreign Flight. Impulsive Risk all but sold out there. Crashed through it. Back in 3rd last position. Inchgower at the 1800 leads by 2 lengths. Belcapine and leading Bounty sharing 2nd placing. A length further back 4th, Rare Vintage, and then Carindale 5th on the inside, followed by Jegabar. Trojan Gift got through that one awkwardly. 2 lengths to Impulsive Risk. Foreign Flight about to hook around it, and back to the inside was Cut Diamond. Heading up towards the next jump at the 1,500 metres point, and then Inchgower giving a terrific exhibition. Leads by 1.5 to leading Bounty, and Belcapine and Jegabar getting closer. He's never been on the track. He is out 3 wide, and he's been at least that wide from the start. 2 lengths away in 5th position, Rare Vintage, and then Carindale back on the rail. About 3 lengths further back to Foreign Flight, and then Cut Diamond and Trojan Gift. The 2 stablemates drop out of it as Impulsive Risk went past them. Inchgower at the jump of the 1,200 leads by 1.5 to leading Bounty, who's had a charm run 2nd. Jegabar to a clear 3rd. Belcapine under the stick 4th, and they've broken away 5 lengths to Rare Vintage and Carindale, then Impulsive Risk and Foreign Flight, Cut Diamond and Trojan Gift, but the leader is Inchgower, still over a length in front of leading Bounty. 1 length away, Jegabar 3rd, now starting to be ridden along a little bit. He's only 3 lengths off the lead, and 2 lengths away 4th was Belcapine, then Rare Vintage sticking on, but it's still under pressure. It's holding down 5th, and then Carindale followed well back in the field by Impulsive Risk, and then Cut Diamond, Trojan Gift, Foreign Flight to the turn. Inchgower is the leader, got away again, a length and a half to leading Bounty. 4 or 5 lengths away, Jegabar, the effort is telling, he's under pressure, and they were followed back to the inside as they turned for home by Belcapine, leading Bounty, going up on the outside of Inchgower, down to the 2nd last one. Leading Bounty took over from Inchgower. They're about 12 in front of Jegabar, who scrambled through the last. Leading Bounty over a length in front of Inchgower. Here's the all-important last one. Leading Bounty got over it well. He's 2 lengths in front of Inchgower, and they are well clear from Carindale, battling on into 3rd placing from Rare Vintage, but leading Bounty is going to win the first. Leading Bounty, well ridden, had the sit on Inchgower throughout, and Impulsive Risk and Jiggabar. A break to Belcapine, a long break then to Cut Diamond, Trojan Gift and Foreign Flight, who all but sold out early, has trailed the field.
Yeah, very good win, Dan. Leading Bounty, he was well ridden by Andrew Moore. Had a lovely sit on Inchgorda, is it? Inchgower, and but the one that worried me was the top weight Jiggabar all the way on the run. I noticed Bill Lonergan kept looking down as if something was wrong with the horse, and he looked around all the way up the straight the first time, and it was quite surprising. Even when I came into the second last fence, he was looking down as if something wasn't quite right with the horse.
Well, he did sort of go up at about the 1600, still looked a chance, but he was always wide, Gary, and as far out as the 800, Billy didn't really even put the horse under pressure. He just seemed to lose ground from that point.
He certainly did, and here's Leading Bounty going right away. Andrew Moore had ridden a beautiful race on this horse, and has gone to the line really strongly.
It was, he did ride it well because he had the perfect run through the field to sit behind Inchgower, and both horses were probably the only two horses in the race that jumped perfectly.
Definitely, yeah, he stood off well. Jiggabar got in a bit close, but here's a good shot right up close. But he went to the line very strongly, but it was quite noticeable. Bill Lonergan, I don't know if there was something wrong with Jiggabar, he could feel it, but you know, he just didn't look to be travelling well to me any part of the race.
Well, Andrew Moore's had a good association with this horse, Leading Bounty. That's his third win in the last 6 or 7 weeks or so, let's see, so it'd be a big thrill to win this week. Go ahead, John.
Right, Andrew, Leading Bounty, good ride all the way. You sat behind the pacemaker Inchgower.
Yes, mate, he was the only one to beat. Jiggabar, I liked him, but, you know, he had a little bit of troubles the other day on Cup Day, but this little horse here, I always thought he was the best bet of the day today because he dropped 7 kilos on his last win at Murray, you know.
And he won easily at Murray?
6.5 lengths, yes. Won well.
And he's trained by a guy that really knows his jumpers, Gary Carson, a great champion jumping rider, wasn't he?
He's the best, mate. He's since I've come from Tassie, he's helped me outstanding, you know. My riding's improved. I think at the moment now I can match it with any of the boys here. I think I'm leading rider with Jamie Evans at the moment now. So.
That's terrific, Andrew. Good effort, and hopefully next year on the first Tuesday in November, the Cup Hurdle, you might be here.
Oh well, I had a good ride on it Tuesday. Raj and her, and he walked through the third one and hurt himself. You know, pulled me out a bit of business.
Next year we'll go a bit better.
Yes, mate.
Good luck, Andrew.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Let's see Andrew Moore, winning rider on Leading Bounty. The official numbers are 11, 2 and 6, 11, 2 and 6. Fourth home, number 9, Rare Vintage, and fifth home was number 3, Impulsive Risk. Jiggabar weakened so much that he wound up in 6th placing. Peter Donegan.
Yes, Gary Carson's down here. Congratulations. That was a good game win.
Yes, thanks very much.
He was never going to lose, really, was he?
No. We set him for this race, and he got in with a 61 on his back. He won with 68 in his half. 68 last week, and we thought with a drop in the weight, he's going to be real hard to beat.
Well, you must have had something on him. I think there was a little bit of money for him in the ring.
Yeah, we had a little bit each way. He was good each way value.
What about him, Gary? Is he up to national class at some stage?
Yeah, he'll run national, yeah. We were a little bit worried about the 32. It's the first time he's ever been run over the 3200, but he run the 2900 out of Maui with that big weight on his back real easy, so we thought he'd get it.
And he's only a 5-year-old too.
Only a 5-year-old, yeah, but he's a great little jumper and a good sticker, you know, he tries hard.
Well done. Hopefully we might see you about national time.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Gary Carson, the winning trainer in the first with Leading Bounty. Numbers there 11, 2 and 6. The time very good, 3:30, only 1.4 seconds outside the record. We'll be back for the presentation of trophies after the Network 10 Hurdle race on the final day of the carnival in just a moment.
Okay, for the first, Network 10 3,200 metre hurdle. We're after correct weight from Mr. Lawler, which is 99.99 times out of 100 forthcoming. He just checks them, checks the numbers against the weights, and we've got it. There's correct weight, so it's time for Danny Malecki to pay you some money. Victorian dividends on the first, please, Dan.
Yes, Tim, just queue up behind me. $11.50 and $2.80, $1.70 for Inchgower and $4.20 for Carindale. Quinella $29.70. The trifecta on the first, $757 even on 11, 2 and 6.
I can see the smile on your face from here. Good on you, Dan. Well done. Always nice to get the winner up in the first, particularly at those sort of odds. And there's a very familiar sign on the back of that horse. There's our logo, and a very good win indeed to Leading Bounty. Richard Zachariah is ready on the lawn in front of the members.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Victoria Racing Club, welcome to final day, Nissan Stakes Day. Our host for this race, the Network 10 Hurdle race from the VRC, is Mr. Rick Charlton. And from Network 10 is the General Manager of ATV 10, Mr. Robert Osmotherley, who will present the trophies to the winning owner and jockey.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be involved in this carnival and this presentation today. And I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank the committee and staff of the VRC and all the staff of Network 10 for making this event a great success, and hopefully today we'll break the record with the attendance. Without further ado, I'd like to present the trophy to the owners of Leading Bounty, Mr. Alan Richards and his wife Dulcie. And to the... Very good. To the trainer, Mr. Gary Carson. Congratulations, Gary.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. And indeed, I think that record will be broken without too much trouble at all. We only need just over 20,000 to turn up today. I'd suggest there's pretty close to that already. But if you're thinking about joining us in Melbourne, please come down and do that, because the VRC deserve to have the attendance record broken for this week, given that Melbourne Cup Day was just a tad on the inclement side. But there's a pretty big crowd here too. Come and join us at the races. It's a beautiful day, more and more sun as we speak. And there is what is a very respectable crowd already here on Nissan Stakes Day for 1995, final day of the carnival. And I tell you what, if you can tip some winners today, you are a fair dinkum genius, because as usual, Peter Donegan, it's a pretty tough day to tip.
Very tough day, Tim, and an excellent day of racing. I thought the field quality has held up really superbly today, Jen.
Oh, absolutely. A hard day to back a winner, but there'll be a bit of value there as well, so it's worth looking for one.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was something, just a little bit amiss with Gegabar, the way he went in the first, because the jockey never appeared comfortable on him, especially in the first 600 metres or so.
No, it was interesting, wasn't it? He was looking behind, as Gary Willits mentioned, and yes, he didn't seem comfortable, and he was gone a long way out.
That was Billy Londrigan, of course, riding Gegabar in the first event, but that's over and done with now.